Okay, hi everyone, my name is Pamela, Valeria and Diego, and we're presenting our micro teaching that is called Hidden Places. We're going to explain later why the name. The importance of making an outing is that the students can relate the contents that we are teaching with things that they can make a connection, like things that they can see every day and so on. This outing is for 12th grade students, so the last year high school students, and the program and the English program says that one of the things that one of the objectives of the program for the last year student is that they can understand and recognize oral and written text about cultural and interesting places.
Well, first, do you have any idea that why we choose this name? So let's guess. There is no wrong answer.
Maybe they are places that people don't visit too often.
That's it.
Sometimes you're walking around and you don't know that an interesting place is there because you go like through. You know,
Camilo?
Yeah, it was the same as Goretti. It's some kind of place that maybe you live in a place and you are always there, but you don't know that there is a place that you don't know.
You don't say?
No, I don't know. Okay, and
The first activity that we want to do is, well, tell us words about architecture. Anything.
words about architecture.
Structure.
Building.
Do you want to come to the board?
Siri?
No.
Yeah.
no, say English.
Like the blue sea, but with link.
Yeah.
Sure.
Another volunteer. Margot. You have the rapport.
Marvel. Consigue tu propio marcador.
Yeah.
Just right.
Yeah, Latin words are very nice for topic. So now we know we are going to show some glossary about architecture. Well, for first activity, we try to imagine the world will fill this empty space.
Columns.
Come on, write. If you want, write on the board, place the names on the spaces.
Columns.
This?
Please. I don't know, but I think this is a room.
Just break the.
Let's try.
Okay, someone else who wants to write?
Remember, there is no wrong answers. So if you want to put cat there, it's okay. Yes.
Banana.
Mother. Father.
Azulejo.
Just write it.
Again.
Azulejo.
Someone else who wants to give it a try? No?
Come on.
No? Children? Yeah.
Well,
More.
these are the
Nice word.
Next try. Okay, for example, well, it's actually these are the columns, but
Technical.
The last part of the column.
the last part of the column, it's called capital. That's the ornament that is on the top part of a column. What else? What's the name? I don't see the name there.
the cornice.
Cornice is the ornament on the part of the roof, on the corner of the roof. Fine.
Little outline.
It's like the window that is
On top.
on top of the doors or the other windows.
Yeah.
It has this semicircular form.
And what's the last one? I don't see the name.
The portico. That is a convent, so in Spanish we will know that what it means.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and with that.
it's like an entrance, but it has a roof. It has a small roof. That's a portico.
Yes.
And the same with azulejo. It's the same in Spanish. Keystone. Keystone. Wait, give me a moment.
Like the central stone of something.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's the
It's a good name.
it's the ornament that is on top of the of the fan line of the on the art. It's the ornament that is on top. Well, here we have more.
More
You see,
examples.
More examples. Here we have again capital.
The gable.
Gable.
Triangle.
Yeah, it's the triangular shape that is on some buildings. Well,
Illuminate.
here it's the same as column. Finial is the ornament that is on top of the building.
Yeah. Yes, and the most higher.
Yeah, the most higher ornament that is on the building. Balustrade. It's the railing that they have on the. What is it?
On the top or the.
Yeah, but it's the.
It's kind of a terrace.
Yeah. Okay. What do we have? No.
No, now we will continue.
Okay.
Show some places that we can found here near to.
Yeah, we chose 3 places that are that we think that are interesting to visit. Valeria will start with Basilica San Salvador, which is actually you can see it through the window. Well, if you come here, you can see it there. Yeah, well, it's
a basilica. It's the same word as in Spanish. And this church, it was built in 1871 to replace the Iglesia de la Compañía, because it was burned. But 60 years later, it was built this big, really big church. Many years after the construction, it was affected by all the seismic movements that we have here in Chile. So this is the basilica now, but it was really beautiful in that time. No.
Wait a minute.
Well, now people can't enter to the church because it's really in ruins, and it's dangerous to enter to the church. But
we are not able to see how is the interior part of this church.
Well, some people like conservators.
Well, the people that works for museums like the BAM associations, they can enter.
And they want to reconstruct this church.
Because actually, one of the things that haven't been affected by the earthquakes of Santiago are the stained glass windows, and they want to and they are huge. We will see in some of the pictures that we take on the outing, and the stained windows are intact. But that's one of the reasons why they want to reconstruct the basilica, because of the stained glass windows.
Well, now, this is where it's located.
Between what is on the corner of Huérfanos and Mirate Barroso. Yeah.
Well, here are some pictures of like 2 days ago about the church. So we can see that it's a very beautiful structure that it has.
And actually, it's a huge church. It actually can house 8,000 people. 8,000 people. It's 88 meters long, 37 meters wide, and in the top of and the highest part of the church is 30 meters tall. So it's huge.
Look at the details that it has.
This is a Gothic style? Yeah, Gothic style church. Like many other churches in Santiago, especially here in Santiago Center, many churches have that style. You can see it's beautiful, but sadly, that's like the only part that is that has been like preserved, but the rest, yes,
Suicidal Jesus.
Funny thing that we found, so we call the suicidal Jesus. As you can see, there is like
it's about to jump.
it's very dangerous.
And yeah, it has no hands. I'm sorry, Camilo? Yeah?
Do you know of any real project of reconstruction of the church?
There has been a lot of projects. There actually was one planned for 2010, but as you can see, the earthquake of the 2010 earthquake affected more. It affected it more, so it's on standby again.
Well, on this case, there is very difficult because the rain makes that everything feel off, and it's very hard to reconstruct. So,
But it's a part that is like new. This part is more like new, but the other side of the church is really
You have to think that this church it took 60 years to build it, and through that time it was used. So the brick part that we saw on the other side, that's the oldest part of the basilica. But this one is like the last part that was built.
So on the gate, we can see some sculptures. And on the top, we also can see some very artistic.
You have to think that this was planned as a church, as Valeria said, it was planned to as a replacement for the Iglesia de la Compañía, but it's so beautiful and so big that the Papa Pio XIII, I think it was, he was the one who elevated the church to a basilica because of the magnitude of the building.
It also have demons.
No, that one. Okay, the next place, well, here you have the some of the architectural terms that we saw earlier applied to a Gothic church. Who will return to that for the last activity? Yeah. No? Go. Go. Okay, no. No. Well, here we have more. Okay. The next place of the outing is the Palacio Pereira. The Palacio Pereira is located on Huérfanos, on the corner of Huérfanos and San Martín, and between Huérfanos and Compañía. This is another. Between this, it covers the whole.
The corner of Huérfanos
and San Martín.
and San Martín.
But it's located between Huérfanos and Compañía. It's huge. It's 2,741 meters. So it's huge. So you have to think that it's located between Huérfanos and Compañía. That large is the building. It was built.
It's not it's
No. Okay, the Palacio Pereira was built in 1872, and it was built for the Pereira's family. The Pereira's family was one of the richest family of Santiago in that time, and they were the founders of the Santa Carolina vineyard. So you can think that the amount of money that they had. This place, you can show the picture so I can explain.
First.
Well, that's the location. Oh, this was built as first. Before the Pereira family took the project, it was built as the Liceo 3 de Niñas. But then the Pereira family took the project and they used it as a house for their family. Well, this is a picture of the place from Google Street. Google View? What's it? Google Street?
Street.
Okay. The pictures of the place? Well, that's the place today. Well, but in these days, yeah.
Actually, that place some bands play music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, this place.
Can you go inside? No, but they go. Like
Well,
anyway. Yes.
This place was the problem with this place is that the family lived there until 1932, but the family sold the palace and it passed from hand to hand. It housed commercial things. Actually, the Arzobispado de Santiago to have some organization there, but it was finally abandoned, and on the earthquake of 1985, it started to decay. And this is the result today of the two earthquakes that have affected Santiago. As you can see, it was very beautiful, but it's in ruins today. The last project to reconstruct this place is it's going to start soon. It was won by a female architecture, and it was on December of 2012. So it's going to start soon.
Palacio Elgin is located on the corner of Brazil and Alameda. It was built in 1887, and the reason that is very well deteriorated now is because fire and an earthquake. Well, there are some pictures about how it's this place.
This is of the three places that we're seeing. This is the only one that is still in use.
Well, this residence belong to Nasiro Elgin. Well, he was a rich man, and now a lot of parts of his house belongs to new buildings or commerce things.
Actually, one of the sides of the Elgin Palace was turned down to build a department building.
Well, can you identify that part?
No,
Yes.
I don't know.
How it was called?
No, but the entrance that we saw before. Filia?
That is a finial of
Oh,
Palacio.
Where is it?
that's the Palacio Elgin.
From inside.
No, that there is some objects that belongs to
They
the
belong
Palacio.
Yeah, it says
Like it belongs to Hotel Valdivia, and Hotel Valdivia is no longer there anymore.
no.
Yeah.
Pero
Yeah.
it was a
Part of the decoration of the Hotel Valdivia belongs to Palacio Elgin.
That's
Also,
the
we can
thing.
identify some other parts of the architectural structure. For example, this here. As you can see, it's very beautiful.
Dragon.
Yeah,
dragon
it's like a
camp.
dragon, yeah.
It's like a bird.
Well, a mixture.
Some pillars and
More ornaments. That's a picture of the time of that it was built. One of the ideas of Nazario, yeah, it was to he was the owner of the mines that are located on Las Condes. So he wanted to have a place like around the time he visualized as to unite the center of Santiago, that was like the main part of Santiago around that time, with the mining projects that were on Las Condes. So that's why this place, from the beginning, it was thought as not only a residence, a familiar residence, but also it had a commerce from the beginning. It was like it was a European thing that around those years was beginning, that these palace-like buildings had started, like the residence was from the second floor up. So the first floor was for commercial projects. So, well, for the post activity we have, we're going to mix a little bit of everything that we saw, that we just saw between the Audi and the architectural terms that we saw at the beginning. And we want you to write a small story, not longer than 5-6 lines, no more than that. And the idea is that you write, it can be a small story, it can be a journal entry or like a newspaper, a news piece about the places that we saw today. But thinking that what it could be like if you had lived on the years that it was built. Try to incorporate the terms that we saw at the beginning. We're going to put them again.
Please.
And the pictures so you can see the places. Okay? So, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Can we use 10 minutes for that activity? So, 5 minutes. No longer than 5 or 6 lines.
That one or the other?
The other one. The other one.
Yeah.
Well, this actually is the Palacio Beira. Yeah? Well, similar, but it's really similar. It's really similar to Palacio Beira.